Hey everybody, welcome to Planes Over It, and we are continuing with our A320 series, and I think this is the most awaited video of the 320 series, and we are doing power plant. And disclaimer remains the same: do not use any of this information that you study here, especially from power plant, of course. Always refer to your manuals. All right, so power plant. What I'm doing is dividing into three videos because it's actually a really big topic. So, and in this video, I'm going to discuss the CFM 56-5 Bravo. I will also put up a video where I'll compare CFM versus IAE, but that will be a different video altogether. But the power plant videos that I'm going to make will be dealing with CFM. Okay, so the engines are turbofan engines that have high bypass ratio, a FEDEC that is a full authority digital engine control, a fuel system, oil system, air system, thrust reverser system, ignition system and start system. As you can see on this diagram, this is what we'll discuss through the three videos. Engine, FEDEC, fuel system, oil system, ignition, thrust reversers, the pneumatics or the air system. Okay, so the engine, let's talk about the engine first. So this is what an engine looks like if it is cut across. So this is the fan here, and there are compressors, LP compressor, HP compressor, combustion chamber, HP turbine, LP turbine, VBV, VSV, and the accessory box. So the LP compressor has 4 stages. The LP turbine also has 4 stages, as you can see here. The HP compressor though has 9 stages, and the HP turbine is a single stage. So there are two assemblies basically, a low pressure assembly and a high pressure assembly. So the low pressure assembly obviously has these stages, the shaft and the turbine. Similarly, the high pressure assembly has a shaft and the turbine and the compressor itself. Okay, so the combustion chamber is where your fuel and air gets mixed, and the FEDEC has total control on that. Depending on your altitude and various other factors that it considers, it will mix the fuel is to air ratio. All right, air is to fuel ratio. Sorry. So now this is accessory box. Now accessory box is the one where you have the oil feed pump, the FEDEC alternator is here, the engine driven generators, the IDGs are here, and the hydraulic pumps that pressurize the green and yellow hydraulic systems respectively is there, and also the main engine fuel pump that provides combustion chamber with the fuel, that is also in this. Pneumatic starter that enables engine start. Accessory box is a mechanical linkage that runs all the accessories inside the gearbox. Okay, we'll talk about something about variable bleed valve and the variable stator vanes. Now variable bleed valve is upstream of the HP compressor, as you can see here, and it depends the setting of the compressor inlet temperature and on the N2. Now this is important in terms of it requires if the engine requires more bleed. So it will be fully open, as you can see it will be fully open during start or low thrust or during fast deceleration. Okay, and it will be fully closed in high thrust positions, these bleed valves. So in high thrust you really do not need more bleed, so it will be shutting down. It will be off, it will be closed, and it will be fully open during low thrust conditions. Now variable stator vane on the other hand is fully closed during an engine start and fully open at high engine thrust. So this is used to maintain high compressor efficiency, as an optimum compressor efficiency at a steady state, and it also gives a good stall margin for the transient engine operations. Okay, so that's all about the engine. The fan is the of course the one that you see in the front, that is actually pulling in, sucking in air for the engine to work, and this side you have the exhaust. Alright, so that's about engine. Now we'll talk about FEDEC. Now FEDEC stands for Full Authority Digital Engine Control. It is also called the ECU, very important, Electronic Control Unit, not Engine Control Unit, it's Electronic Control Unit. It has two channels, A and B. One is active and one is standby. If one channel fails, the other takes over automatically. Now it has a magnetic alternator for an internal power source, so it doesn't depend on the aircraft power source at all. It has an own internal source. It is mounted on the fan case. The EIU, Engine Interface Unit, interacts and shares data with the FEDEC for engine management. So it's a interface unit between the FEDEC and the other systems. I'll just show it to you on the next slide here. So this is the FEDEC here, and also called the ECU. Okay, electronic control unit, that is. So it controls various systems: ignition system, start valve, thrust reverser system, fuel return valve, cooling, engine cooling, etc. And these are the engine sensors that are giving information to FEDEC. Now EIU here is interface unit between the air conditioning, LGCIU, anti-ice and masters, this switching on and the mode selectors, engine man start, etc. And this shares information to FEDEC. And accordingly to the requirement, now if there's more air conditioning demand, the FEDEC will be told, and hence it will be processing for a higher engine thrust setting. Okay. Now FEDEC is responsible for showing any warnings on the engine warning display and the display on the bottom ECAM, and ADRS gets direct information from FEDEC. Okay, so this is what the architecture looks like. Alright, the functions of the FEDEC, there are way too many, but we will try to discuss the main ones. So it controls the gas generator. All these comes under the gas generator itself. Now this is important: protection against engine exceeding limits. So there's protection against N1 and N2 overspeeds, monitoring of EGT during engine start. So it will actually shut down automatic shutdown will be there. I'll just discuss power management, automatic control of the engine thrust setting. That's pretty obvious. Computation of thrust parameter limits depending on the ambient conditions. It will compute thrust parameters. It will also manually manage the function of the thrust lever position, and automatic management of power auto thrust demand. This is the most important one: automatic engine start sequence. So it controls the start valve, high pressure fuel valve, the fuel flow, the ignition itself. It controls all of this. It monitors N1, N2 fuel flow, EGT, and initiation of abort and recycle on the ground only. Very important. On the ground, it will actually it has the authority to abort and recycle a start which is not up to expectations. If you have a high EGT or a overspeed condition, it will actually shut down and recycle again. Then in the manual engine start sequence, it does passive monitoring of the engine. It doesn't have auto shutdown feature, and it has control of start valve, high pressure fuel valve, and the ignition. But the pilot has the ultimate authority to shut down the engine in the manual engine starting sequence. Thrust reverser control. There's actuation of blocker doors. Engine setting during reversers operation. What's the setting that is to be followed? Fuel recirculation control, it recirculates fuel to fuel tanks and used for cooling. We'll discuss in the fuel system. Transmission of engine parameters to the cockpit, as I told you in the architecture diagram. Primary engine parameters, starting system status, FEDEC system status. It detects and isolates records of failures in the engine, and it also helps provides itself FEDEC cooling. Now this is very important slide here, idle modes of FEDEC. So there are three types of that: modulated, approach, and reverse. Okay, so modulated, it depends, is regulated according, depends on the bleed system demand and ambient conditions. So suppose your bleed system demands more pneumatics, so the modulated idle will be increased, and this will happen only when in flight your flaps are zero, clean configuration in flight, and on ground there are no reverses selected, because if reverses are selected you are into reverse idle. So in flight, when the flaps are zero and on ground there's no reverses, this is when the modulated idle is working. Approach idle is based on your aircraft altitude when you're coming into approach, and in flight approach is obviously in flight, and it is when flaps are not at zero. Any other configuration you will move to approach idle. And approach idle is important because it helps engine, it is a feature of it, is helps engine accelerate rapidly from idle to go around thrust. Okay, this is very important. In case of a go around, you require immediate, because otherwise jet engines take a spooling time, but approach idle will consider that. Reverse idle will function selected when on ground. When reverse idle is selected, that's when your reverse idle kicks in. And the feature, most important and commonly asked question here is, reverse idle is actually slightly higher than forward thrust. Okay, so it is actually higher than forward thrust to improve brake efficiency. All right, now this is the FEDEC power supply diagram here. So when does the FEDEC get its power? So when the first aircraft is energized in in terms of you have a external ground power or any other supply, it will work for 5 minutes, do its tests, and then shut down. Okay, and when your ignition and start is selected, again the power will be on to FedEx, and when the master switch is on, it will still be on. And when the engine is started and 12% N2, this is the important figure, 12% N2, it is self-powered by its magnetic alternator. Okay, and when the master is off and below 12% N2, it will stay for 5 minutes, do its recording and anything else, and maintain the data, and then it will switch off. So the bottom line is the FedEx system is self-powered about 12% N2. Also important, it's marked here, if engine mode selector is set to normal position before the engine start, FedEx supply is cut off. In this position here, now if your engine mode selector is selected to normal in this position, it will actually cut off the FedEx power supply. It is assuming that you're no more starting the engine and hence you do not need the FedEx. Alright, I hope FedEx power supply is clear as well. So that's all for this video. These are the quiz links. You'll also find them on the description. And yes, alright, this is something interesting and something big. We are doing live on Facebook, and we'll discuss A320 doubts and any comments and any suggestions that you guys have, and we'll have a good discussion on the A320 family aircraft. And this is on the 25th March of 2017. Save this date, and you'll come on to facebook.com/planesoverhead. Join us on Facebook. I'll see you there. And thanks for watching this video, guys. Have a great day, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, share this video as well, because I know power plant is what you guys have been waiting for. And you can find me on all these links here: YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, email, anything of this. Alright guys, cheers and happy landings. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.